So this video is a look back at all the administrative officials who've either resigned or they've been fired under the Trump administration. And this is about politics. It's out of the Washington Post. And so it goes into detail, um, short detail, I would gather, because there's probably a lot of stories to each individual. So this is by a Philip Bump. And so there's even a video behind it, and it's probably basically going to back up what's being said in the article. And so the article has been updated since. So President Trump set a record for the White House staff turnover in the first year. So here's an ongoing list of the staff who have quit or they've been fired under the Trump administration. A photograph above was taken just over about 6 months ago. 4 of the 5 people that are pictured working in the White House, they probably are some of the people that are no longer there. So only former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski Center didn't. So in the 6 months since, the other 4 have resigned. So, or they've been fired. So having served in the White House for a combined of 971 days. That includes former communication director Anthony Scaramucci, 11 days before being ousted by Chief of Staff John F. Kelly. So it also includes the 385 days put in by Rob Porter, who resigned from his position as the staff secretary this week after it was revealed that his 2 ex-wives accused him of domestic abuse. Now, this is a little ways back. So this article actually is, I'm looking at it here. I believe these things have happened like several most in the Black community know about Omarosa leaving. So President Trump's administration has seen more turnover than The Apprentice. So quite literally, in fact, Trump's television show would lose 15 people a season. So Trump's administration has lost 37 in just over a year. So 2.5 seasons of drama packed into just over 12 months. So we compiled a list of those who had left prominent positions in the administration after being fired, like Scaramucci, being forced to resign under pressure like Porter, or who resigned on their own terms. And so we originally included in that latter group once and again reality television star Omarosa Mandigo, whose departure was from the White House was full of drama. But according to the public position of both sides at the time of her departure, it was amicable. So it goes on to say the shortest tenure was Scaramucci, and I may be pronouncing his name wrong, because I believe it's a certain way it's pronounced. But though the Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, who was inherited by Trump when he was inaugurated, served the same amount of time under Trump. So Porter had served since the outset of Trump's presidency, making him among the longest serving people to leave. So the turnover, now here's the list that they have here. Now in the red are the people that have been fired. In the pink, they resigned under pressure, and in the green, they just resigned. There was no pressure, they just resigned. So look at this list. This is from now to 2018. Look at how long this list is. Can you see this? Immediately recognizable. Which which many will not be. We've broken out individuals by job titles within the administration and the apparent reason for their departure. And so this is the list of people, and it shows why they were, it shows the ones who were fired. Like they have Sally Yates. She was the Deputy Attorney General, days with administration 11. It even has the days numbered. And then it has Pret Bahara, U.S. Attorney, days with administration 51. Okay, so the reason too, it even has their reason why they were fired. So Sally Yates, she refused to enforce Trump's entry ban. And so Pret Bahara, part of purge of the U.S. attorneys. James B. Comey, we kind of know about that one. It's allegedly pressured by Trump to scale down the investigation. So the FBI, he was the FBI director, days with the administration, it was 110 days. So Rich Higgins, he was the director of NSC, days with the administration, 176 days, and he was fired after writing a conspiracy-filled memo. Derek Harvey, senior director, NSC, days with the administration, 182. He was fired following power shift under National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. Anthony Scaramucci, communications director, days with the administration, 11. He was fired by Kelly. And these are the people that were fired under pressure. Days with the administration, 23. Ostensibly fired for having misled Vice President Pence about the conversations with the Russian 8 days. Trump, PAC, a PAC. So KT McFarland, Deputy National Security Advisor, days with the administration, 118, pushed out following power shift under McMaster. Tara Dahl, Deputy Chief to Staff of Staff, NSC, days with the administration was 166, resigned following power shift under McMaster. Michael Short, Assistant Press Secretary, days with the administration, 185. Scaramucci told media that Short would be fired. And so Reince Priebus, Chief of Staff, days with the administration, 188 days, resigned in favor of Kelly. Zara Cohen Watnick, Senior Director, NSC, days with the administration was 188 and resigned following the power shift under McMaster. Stephen K. Bannon, which was Steve Bannon, Chief Strategist, days with the administration was 209 days, and he left giving a negative interview of American prospects. Sebastian Gorka, Deputy Assistant, days with the administration was 211 actually, butted heads with Kelly. And William Bradford, Director of Energy, days with the administration was 120. Past racist comments were made public. And so that shouldn't have been a surprise. Tom Price, Director of Health and Human Services, days with the administration was 232 days, under fire for taking expensive charter flights. I remember that one. Jamie Johnson, Director DHS, and he actually, yeah, he did. He resigned under pressure because people started calling him out on it. And it came up that he was taking a lot of flights. And him and his wife, you could see them pictured together. It goes on to talk about all the different things that people had left. Omarosa Mandigo, Director of Communications, Office of Public Liaison, days with the administration with 364 and resigned to pursue other opportunities, now stars on CBS's Big Brother. Carl Higbee, so I'm kind of going up, Chief of External Affairs Corporation for National and Community Service, days with the administration was 153. Past racist comments were made to the public. So I read about that person. So Taylor Wayneth, He was the deputy chief of staff, Office of Drug and Control Policies. His days were like 340 days. Questions about experience and detail on the resume. So Rob Porter, staff secretary, days with the administration was 385, and allegations of spousal abuse became public. Now, these people all had just decided to resign. This list down here, they decided to resign. So I'm not even going to go over it. It talks about their days of administration, and it has a long list of them. So there hasn't been a recent administration that has seen so much turnover, particularly among members of the senior White House staff, nor is safe to say that there been so many appointees who were fired after past racist comments were made public. And so I want you guys to pay attention to that right there, because these people, they hired them on, and they had to already have done a background check on these people. They knew some of these people were already like this. So don't be fooled. So the good news of the administration is that many of the recent departures have been legitimately amicable ones. People leaving to return to private sectors. It's still turnover, but it seems less turbulent than past clusters of resignations. So the summer, for example, seemed like a tumultuous one, as it is. And so it's going to go on to talk about, let's see here, administration departures by month, actually. I said by month. So this is administration departures by the month. And so it goes all the way from 2017 to 2018. So it has a graph here showing you. And so in July, there was a lot of departures. And you see the bar graph, it goes up really high right here because there were a lot more departures. Now, it starts to drop off right close to October and in the first part of January. But then it starts to ramp up again somewhere in the middle of January. So that photo at the top of the article was essentially a photograph of the moment of the sea recedes right before a tsunami. That's the way they coined it, I guess. And so I guess it just seemed like so many people had left during the month of July. You know, in 2017, it was like, really? And so homeless. And now this brings me to this incident right here, which this is something that just happened more recently. What is it saying here? Former Senate staffer indicted. Fed seized New York Times reporter's phone and email records in a leak probe. So some other drama has kicked off. And it's talking a little bit about it. It says James A. Wolfe, 58, who served as the committee's director of the security for nearly 3 decades, is alleged to have made false statements to the agents in December about his contacts with 3 reporters, according to the federal court documents made public late Thursday. So it says in Washington, a veteran Senate Intelligence Committee staffer was arrested Thursday on charges of lying to the FBI agent during an investigation into the leak of classified information, in which federal authorities also seized emails, phone records belonging to the New York Times reporter. So one of the reporters was identified as a New York Times correspondent, Ali Watkins, the newspaper said on Thursday night, adding that the Senate staffer and Watkins had a personal relationship. So Mr. Wolfe's alleged conduct is a betrayal of the extraordinary public trust that had been placed him, said Jesse Liu, the chief federal prosecutor in DC. It's hoped that these charges will be a warning to those who might lie to the law enforcement So Wolf is expected to rising phone report that see records and years before after Watkins joined the time in 2017 to cover federal law enforcement. So before she started at the time, the FBI agents sought information from her about a romantic relationship she had with Wolf. But Watkins said that she didn't answer those questions, which were part of the investigation into unauthorized leaks. So the Times reported that Watkins said that Wolf had not been a professional source of information for her. So she said before joining the Times, she told editors at two previous employers, BuzzFeed News and Politico, about her relationship with Wolf and continued to cover national security and intelligence committee for them. So according to the Justice Department, rules for getting information from or records of members among several vital interests: protecting national security, ensuring public safety, promoting effective law enforcement, and the fair administration of justice, and safeguarding the essential role of the free press in fostering government accountability and an open society. So it's always disconcerting when journalists' telephone records are obtained by the Justice Department through a grand jury subpoena or other legal processes, said Watkins' personal lawyer, Mark J. McDougall. Whether it was really necessary here will depend on the nature of the investigation and the scope of any charges. So in August, Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced a broad crackdown on unauthorized disclosure of classified information, warning both would-be leakers and the media, as he demanded that the culture of leaking must stop. So referring to the expulsion of leaks since President Trump took office. So Sessions has said that the Justice Department has more than tripled the number of active leak investigations compared to the number pending at the end of the Obama administration. So I have this warning for would-be leakers. Don't do it, Sessions said. I strongly agree with the president and condemn in the strongest terms the staggering number of leaks, he said. Press saying that prosecutors have launched a review of the justice policy related to the subpoenas issued to the media organizations in criminal investigations. So we respect the important role of the press has, and we give them respect, but it is not unlimited, Sessions said. They cannot place lives at risk with impunity. Sessions doubled down on the position in testifying at Capitol Hill in November. So we intend to get to the bottom of these leaks. I think it has reached epidemic proportions. It cannot be allowed to continue, and we will do our best in the effort to ensure it does not continue. So Sessions' remarks threaten a break with Obama Justice Department policy, which asserted that reporters would not be targeted. So it sounds like they're really trying to get aggressive with reporters based on certain types of information that goes out to the public or wherever. So the Trump Justice Department, however, has offered no such blanket protections, as Sessions also announced the creation of a new counterintelligence unit with the FBI that would focus extremely on leaks of classified material to the press and others. So the Attorney General has stated that the investigation and prosecution of unauthorized disclosure of control information are a priority of the Department of Justice. Assistant Attorney General John Demers said in a statement late Thursday, the allegations in this indictment are doubly troubling, and false statements concern the unauthorized disclosure of sensitive and confidential information. According to her Times biography, Watkins has been credited with several journalistic scoops, including revealing that met with a Russian spy in 2013. So she also discovered details on China's harassment of American spies. And she was the first to report the name who met with former Trump advisor George Papadopoulos during the 2016 campaign. So while working for McClatchy, Watkins was part of the Pulitzer finalist team for reporting on the CIA spying and Senate Intelligence Committee computers. And so that's pretty much the right here, the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. And so this right here is the subpoena right here, James A. Wolfe. And so, it's the indictment actually. And so it's listed here. It's the court document. And so right here it's showing holding a criminal term, blah, 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 jury. Okay, I'm looking at I'm reading at the same time. Between it looked like this right here, it says sealed, but it's all open to the public. And so Attorney Jeff Sessions announced a broad crackdown on leaks, issued warning to the press. Jeff Sessions announced a leak crackdown. Here are the 12 major leaks of the Trump era. And so that it says sealed. That's why I was looking at it. If it's sealed, then right here, somebody has given it out so the public can actually view it, which is supposed to be confidential information. Of course, it's no longer confidential now. So, and it might be given like, there's a lot of stuff going on in this administration. There's so much drama and mayhem, and all those people that left. Just look at let me go back up here to this list. Just look at this list right here. And here, this will give you a better picture because it's in color. Look at how I have to go up. Let me go down. Look at that. Look at all these names. So something obviously is going on. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know something's going on, but I mean, this right here, I've never seen so many people in a presidency administration. Either they find something on them or they walk away from it or they feel pressured to leave it. So something obviously is going on, really big, for all of this to be going on. But anyway, with that being said, I'm just going to go on I'm going to mention this. Now, recently, I know a lot of people they were happy for Alice Marie Johnson being released from incarceration. I think a lot of people know the background on the woman. And I just want to say, for those of you, don't be too fooled. I get the feeling that some of it might be promoted for a particular agenda. Now, all I can do is say is let's wait and see. But right here, I'm not going to say too much else on it. I think it's a good idea that she got released. And, it's good that's good for her. But I would bet that there's some other motives behind all of this, why all of this is happening. And I believe we will eventually see what the outcome of that will be, because this administration is full of intrigue and a lot of drama. So here's right here. This is basically covering some of the people what they call casualties of the Trump administration. And so that's pretty much it right there. That's going into a commercial. So uh, there's been quite a bit of casualties, and I'm telling you, if I go back and I pan up, starting from all the way back, you see the list of articles pretty much counting down. Look, this was when it said 35 and counting, the list of senior officials who left the Trump administration. How many people have left the Trump White House? It's kind of a lot. Everyone who's been fired by Trump quit since the inauguration. I mean, I was just looking. I'm like, 37 administrative officials who resigned or had been fired. Very long list of high-profile White House departures in Vox. So this should count and tell you, you know, I would say people need to just really relax and calm down and let this thing play out, because it's full of drama, it's full of surprises, and some of those surprises are not really necessarily surprises, and then it's full of intrigue. It's almost like a reality show. It's like The Apprentice. It's like the reality show. And so I think some people like this type of drama too. I really believe that some people kind of, you know, they like to be a part of it, or they like to see this, you know, this floor show. And so all I can say is you just got to sit back and relax and let this thing ride itself out. But I'm telling you, it's like a revolving door. People go in and then they come right back out. They stay for a minute, for a season, and then they depart. So give me your thought, your feedback on this. I just think it's really unusual. I've never seen a presidency where so many people have resigned. There's been so much, you know, so much intrigue, so much on the edge of your seat, drama. I mean, it's just, you never know what you're going to get with this. But there's always something. There's always a reason behind it. And it's always some full-on drama. But anyway, with that being said, oh man, look at the title of this one: People Who Left or Were Fired. And this is when the list had started. They were starting the list right here. And they had all the names right here. It's like a big, like an attendance list. Well, all I can say is we have to just sit back and really watch what happens with this, because it's just really, just looking at it, it's just nothing but drama. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for listening.